Okay, so we're gonna get started because we are, you all know how we roll. We typically go over and we're starting late, so oh boy. We do have a hard stop at 9 o'clock, so we're gonna keep things efficient and rolling. So welcome everybody. This is the June Grant Park Neighborhood Association meeting. So let's get started. Here's our agenda, posted on our website, and also communicated out in our newsletter. So these are the things we're going to be going over today. GPNA membership and voting. So membership is available to any resident or business owner that is 18 years or older, whose primary place of residence or place of business is within the boundaries of Grant Park. To be eligible to vote, you must attend at least one previous GPNA general meeting. So if you're here today, you can vote in the future. So welcome. And once you've attended the meeting, you can vote. So if you're online, we do ask that you change your name to your first and last for attendance purposes. If you do have multiple people on, just put multiple names in the first and last. We'll probably be able to figure it out. So first off, we will call to order this June GPNA General Body meeting. And as always, thank you very much, Oakland Cemetery, for hosting us in this beautiful building. If you have not been out in the cemetery this time of year, I would strongly encourage you, just on your walks throughout the neighborhood, include a little bit of Oakland as you go through it. It's always changing, always beautiful, and a real treasure that we appreciate having in our wonderful neighborhood. So first up, I'd like to put a motion forward to approve our meeting minutes from May. Second. We have a second. Is there any opposition? I hear none, so we will consider them approved. All right. First up, do we have someone online? Public safety. Is there anyone, first responders online for APD or the fire station? Okay. All right. Well, if they pop up, we'll jump them in the front of the line. We always appreciate our first responders making themselves available. Okay, so this slide I show every time in these meetings, and it's really like, well, why are we here? Why are we doing what we're doing? And so as we continue to figure that out, as new things come together and we get into more of a groove of doing this, it's really just, it's building community using the neighborhood model. The intent of what we do is we want to provide ways for neighbors to meet each other. So that way we can be friendly, wave to each other when we see each other in the park or walking down the street. And just to be frank, it's way more fun when you can walk to your friend's house. So that's the kind of community that we are pushing, and we'll continue to look to build here in Grant Park and continue to make it the envy of the city. Okay. As first up is our vice president update with Adelie. So Adelie is off making sure Kansas City's World Cup event is a success. So we are absolutely honored to have Adelie on our team, but understand that she does get pulled in other places. So I guess first up is we want to thank our sponsor Ollie's for hosting tonight. So Tanya, the floor is yours.
Hi everybody, I'm Tanya. I'm the owner. Don't worry about it. Oh, you need it for the online?
They'll hear you better if you use the mic.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Tanya. I'm the owner of Ollie's on the corner of Cherokee and Atlanta. I also just moved in to a house up the street from Ollie's, closer to Boulevard in Atlanta. So now I'm in the neighborhood too. My husband and I live there. We love Grant Park. We love the neighborhood. Everyone who comes into Ollie's and all of your wonderful kids who come in and say hi. We're ever growing and changing. So if you guys have any recommendations or things you'd like to see us bring into the shop, please let us know. We have lots of events coming up as well. Next Monday, we have a book launch from a local resident. His name's Walker. He wrote this beautiful cookbook that he'll be launching at Ollie's. Ticket sales, I believe, are on our Instagram page. We have an open mic night coming up. I'll put the date of that on the Instagram page as well. There's often pop-ups from Vinny's Mutual Aid. He does lasagna nights at Ollie's on Mondays. And if you buy a ticket, half of the proceeds go to whatever mutual aid benefit he chooses for that pop-up. But yeah, if you guys need anything, let me know. Sandwiches up here, we have turkey pesto, which is our most popular sandwich. We have a curry chickpea, which is our best vegan sandwich. And then we have a lemon pepper chicken sandwich that's gonna be on the new menu. And our fruity pebbles dressing.
What is your name on Instagram?
Ollie's Market ATL.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I can vouch, the sandwich is really good. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, next up, treasure update with Lynn.
Sorry, it took me a minute to figure out how to unmute myself. So the income statement and the balance sheet are linked if we want to pull them up. But the bottom line is the cash balance right now is, as you see, 81,419.29. We do have a couple of larger ticket items coming up. We have some insurance due and an event that I believe will be talked about later. But we're in good health, and Robert continues to be wonderful at getting the local filming crews to pay to use our lovely neighborhood. That's it.
Thank you, Lynn. Yes, so if anybody films in the neighborhood, we request an impact fee to support our efforts in making the neighborhood a wonderful place for them to film. So there's one coming up later this week. You'll see it on Cherokee right in front of it too.
I'm sorry, you said you're looking for someone to film?
No, someone is filming.
Oh, someone is filming.
And they're
okay.
paying us an impact fee, so we thank them very much.
Gonna be Cherokee and where?
Right in front of the zoo. It's very kind of right there. So you should see it later this week. Thank
So will Cherokee be closed?
No, it will not be closed. There will be some street parking missing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an internal shoot. Okay, next up, we've got fundraising.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Cabuyo. I'm the current fundraising chair. We are officially up and rolling again. Just so everyone knows, fundraising committee meetings are happening the first Wednesday of the month, 7 to 8. Right now, just on Zoom, but hopefully in the future when we have consistent attendance and meetings in person. And currently our latest update is the volunteer sign up form. Thanks to everyone who's already signed up through Market in the Park at our tent there this past Sunday. And it will be emailed out. The volunteer sign up form is also available on the tables over here in person at Oakland. But we have several different opportunities for volunteers, parks and beautification. So think sidewalk cleanups, plantings, maintenance, events, so event planning and event setup, communications, so issuing like yard signs, flyers, helping out with our newsletter, community outreach, like welcoming our new neighbors that are always coming into Grant Park, attending city meetings and, helping out with some safety initiatives or just general support. Many hands make light work. And we are excited to get membership involved and stay tuned for some events coming up in the very near future.
Hey, thank you, Christine. To add a little bit more about the volunteer form. So, we've realized that there are a lot of really talented people in our neighborhood. And we also realize that not everybody can, has the time available to have a formal goal. So our intent here is to collect essentially the skill set of the neighborhood, and filling out the form does not mean you're committing to anything. All it means is that if you sign up for the beautification thing and there's a beautification event coming up, we're gonna email everybody who signed up for the beautification thing saying there's an opportunity. So this is just kind of a way for us to have a pool of volunteers that we can draw on as we kind of start to ramp up and do more events and stuff like that. We need everybody's help to kind of pitch in. Okay, next up is Homes in History. I'm very excited about this one. So we have Mary here from the Atlanta Preservation Society.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mary Budwig. I work as the communications head and head of events at the Atlanta Preservation Center. We're located in Grant Park, in case anybody didn't know. The oldest house standing in the city of Atlanta is at 327 St. Paul. So go check it out, become a member. But we are wanting to put together a kind of living interactive document. Back in the 90s, I want to say the mid 90s, every home in Grant Park was, I got some slides on there. I'll tell you to go next. You can go next. Every home in Grant Park was cataloged in these binders and printed out on paper, exactly. And we have about, I would say about 12 of these bad boys sitting in the Preservation Center with every single home in the neighborhood cataloged, the year it was made, the district, its zoning, if it was a contributing structure or not to Grant Park being a historic neighborhood. And we are wanting to update this a little bit, make it interactive, and kind of have something that represents both the past and the present, where somebody who's just interested, somebody who lives here can go, you can find your home on it, and you can see all of the information, a cute photo of it from mid-90s and a photo of it now. So we just kind of wanted to present this to everybody, get community input on what, if this is something you'd be interested in, what you want it to look like, but we kind of have a rough overview of kind of the user experience that we're thinking. So just a little overview, what this would include would be like a neighborhood map, so you could click whatever quadrant you live in, which then goes to a street list, categorized alphabetically, so you can scan it, an address list, so you can just tap your address to learn more, and then kind of that before and after survey page that we talked about. Each house would get its own page, easy peasy, and like I said, everything just as easy as possible, because I want elementary schoolers who are doing research on their house to be able to use this, and I want somebody who is celebrating their 90th birthday to be able to pull it up and use it as well. So again, just like a quick overview of what this potentially could look like. Super lo-fi, but bear with us.
Okay.
Amazing, perfect. Okay, so you would pull up to a map and be able to make a selection of roughly what quadrant your home is in. You click the red one. Boom. Okay. Well, that went to 4 different pages. Yeah, so it would bring you then to that specific quadrant, and then you would be able to select your street, or be able to select your street from a drop-down menu. Yeah, choose your address. So this example is the 397 Augusta Avenue address. And then this would be a rough look at what that page would look like. So a little bit nicer than the printed out version from the 90s that exists in one place. So it would have all the previous information, if it was contributing, the existing zoning from that time, the current contributing or non-contributing status, the current zoning, and then your land lot, your district, year it was built. You'll see in that binder that it also previously listed the current resident, full name, address, everything. I don't see a reason to keep that in there, especially if this is going on the public internet, but if that is something that you guys would want included in there, it is up for discussion. So yeah, that's just a little overview of what we're thinking. Any questions, comments? Yeah.
Where do you get your information? Put these together.
Well, we work very closely with the city, GPNA, and different organizations. If you want a more long answer. You can always stop by and talk to our executive director, but all the information will be accurate. I can tell you that.
I know my house, for the tax assessor says it built in the 1930s, it's actually built in 1927.
Okay, well then that's definitely something that we can kind of look at. I don't know if we should do something where maybe there's a form for residents if there are discrepancies like that, where you could be able to say, hey, you said one thing, it's listed in taxes,
I got
one thing.
information through the Atlanta History Center.
Yeah,
Buckets. I'm pretty sure it's that. I'm happy that I got in that area right far, put out by the city in 1928, it shows my house and being there, so I know it was there before the 1930s.
yeah, it can definitely be something. We'll probably be pulling the majority of the information again from these sheets, but if there is any discrepancies like that,
You operate on just a walk-in basis, you have to call, make an appointment.
you just walk in.
Thank you.
So if it's contributing to the historic district, it's based on a couple of things. I know the kind of age and period of significance, if the home is in good condition, and certain architectural elements.
Guys also have information on the commercial buildings that are kind of.
So that is one thing that I am not 100% sure if it is in those books. If it is not, I would love to add those in there. And that would be something where we might not have a resident listed, but I would love to list the current commercial structures as well.
If I could just jump in and share a little more. So the intent here is that we build a digital catalog to help show the historical significance of every single structure in Grant Park. Whether you're in the Federal Historic District or you just have a building that you feel has local historic meaning. And so this is a monumental project that will start with, first off, getting these digital binders updated and online. But the real opportunity here is to empower the owners, to empower the people who are using this space today to update this record, right? There's all kinds of nuances with all of these homes that the current owners and residents know best. It's a real opportunity to get that documented so that we have a really clear picture of what makes Grant Park special. And we are thrilled to partner with the Atlanta Preservation Center on this. There is no other neighborhood in Atlanta who is doing anything like this.
Yes, that is another thing, is this would be the first project of its kind. Like I said, these were done in the 90s. I want to say there's about 2,000 plus different reported structures in there. So it is a big undertaking, but we're happy to do it, especially in this neighborhood. So yeah, it would be a cool thing if other places do something like this, but I would love for Grant Park to be the first.
Yes, they will look to us and say, I want that too. So kind of like where we are here is there will be a detailed funding request coming from GPNA. These binders that we were passing around were put together in like the mid-80s, mid-90s and came out of GPNA. So there will be more details coming on that. And then also, this is our opportunity to essentially ask for the world. What do we as neighbors, as the people living in these structures, what do we want this tool to use and what should it contain and everything like that. So if you have ideas on what should be here, we'd love to hear. So if they have ideas, where should they send them?
They can send me an email. My email's not on that real quick, but it's Mary, Mary @preserveatlanta.com. So you can absolutely send me an email. Let me know if there's anything that you'd be interested in seeing on there. If any questions, comments, concerns, again, like if your house says one thing's on tax records, but should probably say another, let me know and we can kind of look into that to make sure all the information that we're pulling is as accurate as it can be.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Easy enough. Thank you.
So I would just say, it is not possible for us to monitor the chat and run this meeting. So I typically try to turn it off. So if anyone in the chat or virtually has a question, we just ask that you raise your hand. Okay. Admin update. Okay, next up, we've got land use and zoning, with Sky.
Hey y'all. So, fun thing that we've been waiting for a long while. 1040 Grant Street. This is the proposed apartment building that requires a technical rezoning to remove the condition, since it is contingent on the existing site plan. We got this back in, I think it was September of last year. So, from what I am still being told, the developer and the neighbors have still been in communication, still been having meetings at least occasionally. And the latest update is that the developer is proposing, slash Asana Partners, who owns the beacon, is proposing to essentially reconstruct that quote unquote driveway that leads from Hill to Grant. It's not a public street, nor is it built like it, which means it won't appear on maps. It's not a navigational aid. The idea is that it would be built to public street standards. That's the current proposal to help with the traffic issues relating to building new residences at the scale at the dead end streets. Still trying to figure out whether or not that can actually be incorporated as a condition, since it's not technically on the 1040 parcel. Bit of a sort of gray area there, but we're waiting on that info, and we're still on track to do our first formal review at Grant Park LUZ on June 25th. So we'll have this 1040 Grant, and we'll have Trestle Tree. So it's going to be a long night, which is a good thing, because this is good stuff to talk about, but be prepared for a long meeting. So yeah, so that's what I have. And I'm still expecting an amended version of the 1040 grant application to review. So I'm checking on that. Can you go to the next slide?
I think we got a hand up here, regarding this from Mitch and Dan.
Here, go ahead.
Hi, yes, Guy. I talked with the lawyer for Trammell Crow last week, and they've not yet been able to create the final roadway documents and are agreed to the proposed condition of adding that to the conditions, hoping that it can be accepted. And she advised they are going to defer until July or later.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. Oh, interesting. So, I mean, until I get a formal deferral request and sent to the city planner handling this, I'm going to still plan for it for June 25th until I hear otherwise officially. But thank you for telling me.
Okay.
And for Trestle Tree, so we just had that hour meeting with a Wingate representative talking about the Trestle Tree project, so I won't go over that again. But the process is as follows. We're going to make a formal recommendation from Grant Park LUZ on June 25th. That will be discussed / ratified by this body at the general meeting in July. And then after that, or South Atlantis Neighborhood Development / Sand, West Covers Ormond Park to Trestle Tree South, they are going through a similar recommendation process. They're going to come up with a letter of their own. Grant Park is going to come up with a letter that's based off our recommendation. And those two recommendations from the relevant associations will be sent to NPUW, the Neighborhood Planning Unit. And in August, the Neighborhood Planning Unit will give its formal recommendation to Invest Atlanta about the funding request from Wingate. The NPU is the actual entity sending this to Invest Atlanta, not the neighborhood associations, but it is the neighborhood associations feedback / recommendation that will help inform what the NPU does. So that's the plan for this.
Okay, thank you, Sky. So LUZ meetings are always fun.
Indeed they are. Indeed.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
They do road studies, like the traffic. I mean, with all this, I know what's going on in the south of United. It's not in the Grant Park. All those new homes. I mean, what can the streets handle? I mean, they're going to do Boulevard complete pretty soon. We're bringing another 600 units in. I mean, how many units? How many cars can we handle for?
So what I keep hearing is that this is what it's zoned for.
So. The current zoning allows for this amount of density, and so what we're seeing is developers. Wanting to finally add in this density. So,
Are you saying because the zoning allows a certain density that a traffic study is not required for permitting? Or,
that is, someone jump in, but that is my understanding, that if it's under the current zoning. That you don't. Scott, you could probably answer this better, but under the current zoning, you don't have to do the extra steps required for variances or to rezone or anything like that. Am I that right, Scott?
That is also my understanding. Because they are going from the same zoning, just removing the condition that makes it so they can't tear down the building and redevelop it at 1040, then yeah, they're not required to do something like that. And same goes for Trestle Tree, whatever they do, as long as they're not asking for a rezoning in terms of actual scale, as long as the scale is staying the same, then yes, as far as I understand, that's not really a requirement. Traffic studies aren't even technically a requirement for rezoning in the first place. They're just heavily encouraged by Atlanta Department of Transportation. But even for something like this isn't going to be something that they're going to be, banging on the door asking for them to do. Whether that's a good or bad thing, that's up to you. I have my own opinions about that, but that's the law.
Is there a committee in the neighborhood association that would look into that? I mean, I think about like up near Wolford, Pont City Market. I mean, they're just building a lot and it's hard to get in and out of that area. I hate to think that our community would turn into something like that.
Yeah, we've got a transportation committee. We've got a joint one between DNP and GPNA.
Yeah, and so the transportation committee meets third Monday of each month.
Yeah, third Monday at 7.
If as membership, if this is what we want, we would start there, make a recommendation there, bring it to general body, and we'll do whatever y'all want. Yes, in the back.
yeah, I want to voice the same concern. There's been a lot of traffic buildup. I mean, any accidents on, we can sit at like the corners of the major intersection highways, accidents already. We're squeezing more people in the pockets in Great Park. I think there's a lot of concern. Sometimes I can't get out of the neighborhood to pick up kids on time, like going in line down the road, like get out and use it. So it's a concern, I know, for me and my family at points. We've had to like reroute from different directions to get creative. I've heard other neighbors saying the same thing, and it puts up the campus back for like Airbnb places. So I'm wondering what the integration point is for having those conversations between the zoning committee, transport, us, and how are we making sure that people that are voting on one part are actually looking at the traffic, but that's a whole different conversation.
I would just say I hear y'all on the traffic concerns and the expectation that they will get worse. Let's have those conversations in the transportation committee, and then we can, from there, we can loop in other committees as we see fit. But that's where we could kind of have more long-winded brainstorming, list out what our concerns are and then take actionable next steps from there. Okay. All right, next up, Loyal, public safety.
It's all in black and white there. I'm going to assume the folks can read some of it, but I'll go over briefly. Biggest part of the discussion was the wedding reception on Garrett Street in Glenwood Park. That's technically not in Grant Park, it's just across the street from us. So it was part of the discussion. And they went in and approved it. I have concerns about that, but not my neighborhood, so. But the one big issue was that the parking is gonna be at the high school, and then the shuttle bus bringing people over back and forth. And they've lowered the number of anticipated attendees from 500 to 300. Still a lot of folks in that whole area, but anyway, avoid that area on the evening of July 17th. Mark that your calendar, avoid that area. Fair Park, we approved the Caribbean Bridge Festival. It's a new event. The promoter is someone that's not been to the park before, so we're pretty comfortable with that. And then Oakland Cemetery has applied for their Jubilee picnic, and by the way, the Jubilee means the foundation was formed 50 years ago. And so this is a Jubilee celebrating that. And then the Sunday in the Park is a repeat event back on September 27th. Then the liquor application change of ownership over in East Atlanta. At 840 Madonna that was approved. Pretty much cut and dry stuff. No major issues that except for that Garrett Street. Yeah, but pretty good there. Any questions? Any answers?
Let's see, we got a hand up, Lindsay.
Who?
Yeah,
Lindsay?
actually, yeah, I raised my hand actually when we were discussing the trestle tree. Is now the time to raise concerns, or is that happening at the next meeting?
I would say if there are concerns, let's take them up with the LUZ meeting.
Which one is that? The one on the 25th?
Yes.
Okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
we'll allot time for a little more discussion ahead of the vote.
That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, next up, bylaws committee with Chase.
Good evening, everybody. I hope y'all can hear me because I am doing a little bit of traveling for work. So just hopefully I don't cut off. But we currently have 2 people on our committee, which would be myself and Loyal right now. So we're actually looking for more volunteers. At the very least, we need 1 more person on our bylaws committee, but we really need to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. I know I've made a few recommendations, but would like to talk to it, discuss it with Loyal and a few other people, just to see how we can really make sure that our bylaws are standing for our community, and if we kind of need to change any, just because they're outdated, a lot of them are. So if you'd like to be a part of the bylaws committee, especially if you have experience sitting on a board of a nonprofit or even something in a more private sector, that would be fine as well. So you can reach out to me via email at bylaws@gpna.org, or you can give me a phone call. I can actually, did you put that on this slide? But you can reach out to me via phone as well, 404-451-6622, and I'll actually put that in the chat before getting off. So I think that's the biggest thing for the bylaws committee, is actually forming the committee. So I'm looking forward to some people reaching out to me, and then hopefully we can get something set up within the next week so we can actually start talking about some stuff.
Chase, ideally, how many people would you have on this committee?
Like I said, I would like to see about 5.
Okay.
But just as we're talking through, the bylaws, with it just being Loyal and if we disagree on something, there still needs to be like maybe a tiebreaker or something like that. Be able to bring it to the steering committee for suggestions and things like that.
Yeah, that Loyal's rough. So just so everybody knows, when we think of our long-term longevity and success, GPNA has been around for 50 years, and we're looking to be here and more impactful in the second 50 than we were in the first 50. And the bylaws are the structure that allows us to do that. So it's a real opportunity to have an impactful change on how the organization is run. And we really are in need of some people to step up and really just give your opinion. The cadence will go, there's some low hanging fruit to just clean up some things. And she will do a great job of saying, here's the things we want to discuss. And we're just looking for, good, rational, critical thinkers to just give their opinion. So if you're able to, carve out a couple hours a month for this, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yep. And I think this is also, like, just to piggyback off of Robert, it's an opportunity to allow our bylaws to have some longevity. So even when, we are no longer sitting on the committee, or Robert is no longer the president, or things like that, we have something for other people coming in to actually follow and allow our bylaws to be our governing body here in the community. Anybody have questions for me?
See, Catherine, I see you got your hand up. Go ahead.
I don't hear anything. Is she talking?
Yeah.
Oh, her mic is not working. I see that in the chat.
Okay, well, Catherine, I would just say, that I would recommend reaching out, to Chase. Oh, here we go. Let's go in and I will read. Okay, she's gonna reach out to you.
Okay. I'm also going to put my information in the chat, so people can reach out to me. I typically try to check my email at least once a day, but I have a very demanding job. So I think the best way to reach out to me, is probably going to be also via phone. So I'm going to put my information in the chat as well.
Okay. Outstanding.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next up, we have an event coming up and we are ecstatic about it. So mark your calendars, Saturday, July 11th. There's going to be a joint event, put on by the Grant Park Conservancy, as well as your neighborhood association. And we'll be having a, watch party for the soccer matches. I have to be careful what I say here. That are happening then. This is the 2 quarterfinal matches. This will be located at the Boulevard Green. So this is where Market in the Park is happening. And so we're the neighborhood association. We are pleased to be putting towards the funds for the screen and the sound system for this. So when you think about this space, this used to be tiered surface level parking. So it adheres itself great for us all to get together, have some fun, meet each other, of course, and enjoy these special events as a community and as a group. So, we say, bring your blankets, bring your chairs, bring the kids. It's a great opportunity to activate the park. And we are thrilled to work with the Conservancy to bring, this is probably the first event between the Conservancy and GPNA have done together in a very long time. And we are confident this will be the first of many. And it's also just a way for us to kind of picture how do we want to utilize this space. Today we're watching soccer, or then we're watching soccer, but it doesn't have to be soccer. We could do movie nights. We could do all kinds of things with this space. So Cece, did I miss anything?
Hey, Robert, I'm here. No, you did not. I think that we're super excited and grateful to be working with you guys. And like Robert said, this is, the first in a long, long time, I believe, that we're working together. So follow us on social media. I will be keeping everybody updated, and all our GPC posts are going to be on GPNA so that nobody misses what's going on around this Market in the Park special edition as a watch party.
And if I'm reading the screen right, we're going to have food trucks and music in addition to the soccer?
Yep.
Yes. The answer is yes. So it's great. We really, this event is intended not for Atlanta, it's intended for Grant Park. Please go grab your neighbors, tell them to come out. Let's get together as a community, as a group, and really just have fun together.
Do not put those on your Instagram or on Facebook. Do not. Just keep it to your neighbors, please.
Let's get Star and then.
I have a question, like,
just hoping that it doesn't rain, but if it does rain, is there a plan for, like, would we shift it up into above the parking lot where it's covered? Is that equipment okay to be outside in the rain? But making sure that we're not putting a bunch of money into something that's just gonna get canceled if it rains.
Not gonna rain,
Okay.
but if
Yeah.
it does rain, CDC, what's the plan? It's not gonna rain. It's not gonna rain. We're talking about it, so it's probably gonna rain.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we'll get back.
We'll get to it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll understand what the impact is. More,
Is there, like yard signs or signage that we could put for, so that the neighbors who aren't at this meeting
yes.
don't check the minutes, even though they should? Just so people are aware, even in that, maybe in that area, like people who like that area or walk that area, maybe not around the neighborhood. But just to highlight like, hey, this is coming up here.
Yes, so the current plan is to do yard signs similar to we did for Shop the Block. You know, probably 20 plus and put them out throughout the neighborhood, letting people know about the event. So we'll be working with the Conservancy on exactly how that works, if that's the best approach, but there will be some form of low lift marketing for it, yes.
And who's spearheading like the security aspect of this event?
So it's all being handled by the Conservancy. They've got the insurance, the security, the vendors, everything.
It'll be often consultative.
Is there a number? Like, is there a
Or
security?
with a four, I think, 4 duty cops. 6, I think it was 4, I'm not sure. Yeah. I've read that,
And they similar to other events where they have to clean up after themselves, trash,
yeah,
etc.
that's real hard to do that, yeah.
And are there extra restrooms or the
Yes,
facility?
we do, maybe 3 regular restrooms and 1, access lane.
Awesome.
Hey, Robert, this is Michelle with the
Oh, hey,
Conservancy. Hey, how are you? We're super pumped about this special edition of Market in the Park. And we'll be handling the logistics just like we handle them for Market in the Park. And so we will be getting porta potties, we'll be getting security, we'll have water stations, we'll be securing food trucks. And so it should all run very similarly to how we've been running our Market in the Park. And we're super excited about partnering with GPNA. Because doing all of those things and then also renting the screen and everything starts to be pretty cost intensive. So thank you all so much for partnering with us to make this happen. And we will happy to share about the logistics as everything is getting put in place. But it's very similar to how we run Market in the Park. So all of those things will be in place, sanitation, all of those things.
What?
Michelle, Will here, question for a minute ago. In case the weather service doesn't get the message that rain is not allowed that night, is there a plan B for covering the screen and keeping things dry?
I'm going to be meeting with the screen folks out on site. Skylar and I are, hopefully, I think it's next week. And so we will be talking through all of that kind of thing, how that works with the weather and those kinds of things. So we will get all the answers to those questions very soon.
Not gonna rain.
Not gonna rain.
Not gonna rain.
In case it gets a message.
All right, okay, so everybody has an action item. Go invite 2 neighbors to this.
Just the.
2 plus. 2 plus. Okay, and on that, we'll turn the floor over to the Conservancy for all the exciting things happening there.
All right, I'll take it from here, Robert. So we hosted the 3rd edition of our Market in the Park Spring Series this past weekend. There were several returning favorites, and then we had some new additions. A great lineup of local vendors, artisans, vintage finds, coffee, food. I mean, it was so fun. So we are very encouraged and grateful for the community's response to our efforts to activate the park. If you will remember, this stems from a survey that we did last year where it came out very loud and clear that people wanted more events in the park. So that is what we did. And these 3 editions were quite successful, very happy with it. And with that, I was going to share with you about the special edition of Market in the Park in July, but we already did that. So we're going to go into yet another exciting thing that's happening right next week. So this is Pours for the Park. It's really a unique evening to support the work that we do at the park. And we have partnered with My Friend's Bottle Shop to present Pours for the Parks, which is an anniversary celebration for My Friend's Bottle Shop, but it's going to be benefiting the Grand Park Conservancy. So, of course, there's going to be an open bar, and there's going to be, hey, Tanya, there's going to be light appetizers and dessert catered by Ollie's. There will be raffle baskets and an auction with a twist where you get to bid on rare bottles. And I have the list since this afternoon of those rare bottles, and I promise you they are exciting. I will be sharing more about that tomorrow and next week. So when this is Thursday, June 25th, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., right there where some of you are at the historic Oakland Visitor Center. The event is, of course, for people 21 and over, and all ticket sales are final. And if you want to get those tickets to get your hands on one of those bottles and just have fun and support our work, you can find a link to that on gpconservancy.org, our website /events, and look for Pours for the Park, or on Instagram, on our link in our bio, you will find a link to buy your tickets there. Okay. So we hope to see you there, support our work, and have fun. Next one. This is just a reminder for all of those who are using the Grand Park pool. It's going to be closed this Friday for Juneteenth, okay? So regular pool hours are Wednesday through Sunday, 12:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And they, of course, will be closed on July 4th for Independence Day. Any more info, you can check Atlanta Parks and Rec website, the aquatics department. And in addition to going to Pours for the Parks and supporting us in that way, you can, of course, donate if you want to point your phone, your camera to that QR code right there. All of the proceeds, go back into the park. If you want to support us in a different way, you can volunteer. So gpconservancy.org/volunteer. We host regular work days twice a month, maybe not in July, not when it's very hot. But otherwise, we do. And also we host corporate volunteer days. So if anybody in your companies would like to gather a group and come over, check our page and the information is there. As always, follow us on social media. I try to keep everybody updated on what's going on. And it's at grandpark.atlanta, Facebook and Instagram. And that's it for me today.
Thank you, Cece.
Yes. Yeah, that.
Good job, Earl. Get better at this. Okay, so that is the end of our agenda items. Oh my gosh, it's not 9 o'clock. So we'll allow a couple of minutes for open floor. If anyone can ask anything you want, or we can adjourn. Yes.
You remember I was talking about the tree limb last year on Boulevard, the one that's next to my neighbor, but it's gone. So whoever did that, thank you. It's been cut down.
All right. Okay. All right, and on that, can I get a motion to adjourn? All right. Jackie? All right. Thank you, everybody. Greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you at the soccer watch party.